Okay. Hey everybody, thanks for being here. I see some messages from some people already. Again, thanks. It's always so good to see everybody here. So I think I'm pretty ready to go here. So I think I'll just start by playing some music. I think I'm just going to play the tune Bgvl by Charlie Parker. So let's just give that a shot, and then I'll say hi to everybody. Wow, I gotta relearn that head. All right. So let me get to some comments. Hope you guys are doing good, first of all. Hope everything sounds good. I didn't even do a check, but it should be good. All right, hold on a second. First of all, hi Lee in California. Thank you for being here. Weekend in LA. I'm not really prepared to do that. Maybe I'll have to bring back the whole Ableton Live thing that I used to do. I've just been having so much fun playing with this app, although it seems to be offline at the minute. But yeah, I have to bring back the Ableton live looping thing that I used to do, because I know people really like that a lot. Let's see. Rising Wolf. Let me take a breath here. And the real Bacconi from Italy. So good to see you. Keith from DC. Hey, Ken. Ken Lewis, good to see you. Rhode Island, James. Thank you guys so much for being here. Sunny Normandy, France. Bienvenue. Barry Green Video Lessons. Another person from France, Jan. Merci pour... shit. I always freeze up when I try to speak French. I do great when I'm just sitting in my apartment by myself. And Steve from New Jersey, my home state. All right. Keith, Steve, audio is good. Rising Wolf from Italy, Netherlands, this is awesome. California, all over the world. So I guess I was, anyway, let's play some more music. Yeah, if you guys, well, you know I'm using this Fieldbook app because I'm just having so much fun using it. But you know, if you have any other requests, please still ask. Let's see. What about? I haven't played this in a while. Dolphin Dance. Taking these chances here, just playing stuff I haven't played in a while, making mistakes. Maybe I should play through the head first. What's the worst that can happen? So I'm going to turn my mic off because this way you don't hear the clicky sounds from the pick. So here's some Herbie Hancock, Dolphin Dance. That's such a nice track. And some of my little gimmicky things are not working here. All right. Let's see. Whew. Okay. Make sure you guys, okay, we're all good here. Dolphin Dance, a tune for Pentatonics, for sure. Ken Lewis, by the way, Dave Stryker's at the Blue Llama in Ann Arbor tonight. Tell him I said hi, please. Um, Lorenzo, Meditation, that's a beautiful song. Um, yep, I do know that one. So Jan is asking about the backing tracks. This is from the app called the Fieldbook, which has Jonathan Kreisberg. It's his app. Yeah, the tracks are great, but it's it's limited. Although they've been adding a lot of things. Like I don't have. Man, people from all over the world here, man. Vienna, Newfoundland. This is amazing. Virginia. And of course, I love getting these questions, these teacher questions. Because now that I'm not a professor anymore, I'm jonesing for teaching people stuff. All kidding aside, obviously. I mean, that's a huge topic. It's a huge topic, but one of the things I'd like to do, and I can actually demonstrate it on another track here, is just taking the pentatonics that we already know. Like if, for instance, if we were playing A minor, and we would all gravitate toward. The A minor pentatonic scale. But you can also play that same pentatonic shape off the ninth and the fifth of the chord. So like, for instance, A minor, B minor pentatonic would. And that gives you all these upper extensions. It's absolutely beautiful. And the fifth would be E minor. One thing I'll point out, you probably noticed it already, that even though I went to play B minor, I didn't just automatically go here, because you want to be able to play these shapes everywhere. So I like playing stuff over the chord. This is B minor. And the E minor is here. So I can easily switch in between all of them. And just incidentally, the same thing works on major chords, but it's the same exact thing, but all major pentatonics. So, and I've got a cool free lesson on the website, by the way, which covers, I think, what I just talked about. Sure. So a good tune for stuff like that is, things like impressions and so what. I feel like my chops are down a little bit, so I'm a little nervous about trying to play impressions, but what the hell. And so what I don't think is on here yet. Let me see. S. No. So let's do impressions. I mean, all these tracks, one thing it's great that they're so long, there's so many choruses, so it's really great for practicing, but I think I've mentioned this before, on a gig, I don't think I would play this many choruses on tunes. Just tend to keep things more brief. All right, so let's mess around with this. Impressions. All right, here we go. For a demonstration of, I'll play all that pentatonic stuff, like from different chord tones. Yeah, that's probably overdoing it, but that's a lot of that sound. By the way, and this is right too, where the pedal points are off of G, like the instead of it being so it's off G. You probably heard that. The whole thing was based off that sound. Which I think is really, really cool. Alrighty, keep on playing. I'm always so paranoid that there's so many things going on at once in front of me just to make sure everything is working right. Sometimes I get too caught up in it and think about playing music. Let's see. From Istanbul, man, honestly, this is so beautiful. People from all over the earth. This is incredible. Miss Ann's Tempo, I don't know that, but that's an amazing recording. Thank you guys for the meditation off the cuff. Maybe I'm better off not working things out and just playing. Man, when Joe Pass was so good at that, just sit down and play tunes. Sam is asking me how retirement is going. It's going good. I mean, quite honestly, because I'm so used to being off in the summertime anyway. Not really feeling it yet. I'll feel it when August rolls around, and I would normally be preparing for classes and things like that. So it really hasn't hit me yet. I don't think so. But thanks for asking. I don't know Tones for Jones Bones, Chick Corea tune. Thank you guys, all of you, for being here and all your nice words. Let's see. As you can tell, I love getting the questions. That was pretty intense. I was thinking about playing Inner Urge by Joe Henderson, but since that one was pretty intense, let's dial it back a notch. Some really pretty tunes on here. Oh, I just passed one when I was looking for the other tune. That's really, really nice. That's a pretty new addition. Where is it? Now I already forgot what it was. Looks like this is a brand new one that I didn't notice. If I Were a Bell. Let's live on the edge here. I'm downloading it right now. I think this is a new edition here. So I don't know how they've got it arranged, but let me just go through it once for myself. No. I already forget it now, or I was starting. I went to another tune. A lot of tunes in F do that. Go to the 3 major. It's really interesting. All right, let's just play this. wasn't sure what to expect for an ending. But yeah, it's a brand new one. It's the first time I've tried that. Great, great tempo. See if there's anything else they dropped in here without me noticing. Anyway, yeah, that was really nice. Okay, let's see what else is going on. Oh yeah, there's the one. There's the tune I was looking at. Let's see. So this is a good question. Yeah, I definitely will play that. But you're asking me how to talk about how you approach minor short 2/5s one after the other. Okay, Chi Chi, that's a good one too. That's one of my favorite Charlie Parker blues. Uh, Such a great tune. That's in the key of A flat, but it's got so many little things in there that steer you toward common blues substitutions. Right there. So is it D flat minor or? Yeah, I guess that's what I'm hearing. The major 7. So it's going playing that sound. Is it A flat 7? So that's definitely this. That's what I love about digging into these tunes, because it sounds like the whole chord progression he was thinking was it's great. Something to think about. So the other song was How Deep Is the Ocean? I might need to look at that melody. That's not a tune I play a lot, but I love it. But I might, just full transparency here, I might pull up a lead sheet on the internet. Where is it? How Deep Is the Ocean? If I can hear it, I'll do it. Yeah, I'm just spacing on it. I can't even hear it in my head. So let me just quickly, but I want to play it because it's such a beautiful song. So let's see. How deep is the ocean? Oops, can't spell ocean. Lead sheet. At least, this is all honest. I'm not trying to be some superstar here. I struggle with stuff just like everybody does. Let's see. This is an A minor. I sort of could do it. Let's see if I can find it in the actual key. No, I'm not seeing it. Let me see if I can. This is where I'm just ready to sound. I'll just do it. I'll make some mistakes, but to answer your question, like as far as those quick minor 2/5s, which there are, as I'm looking at the chord progression, there are a lot of them. These short little 2/5s, you tend to keep the minor 7 flat 5 sound basically no, either diatonic to the key we're in, which is C minor, and just looking at this G7 as the most important part of it. So it's just trying to get the sound of B natural. And that one was on the D7, so playing the F sharp. So if I count it off like a quick example, 2, 3. Like another one could be 2, 3. So in all those, I'm not going to get to a big discussion about it, but I'm generating lines basically out of harmonic minor, those quick minor 2/5s. But I don't think of the harmonic minor until the dominant chord sound comes. The minor 7/5 chord I treat, diatonically to the moment I'm in. So, but let's give it a shot. Mic off. Let's give it a shot. See how this goes. Man. I think that's pretty close. There's a couple spots in there that nothing was coming to my mind. But to go back to this question very quickly, a lot of times I skipped it. In other words, like the first one, I just kind of played, like coming from blues, which is such a big part of my growing up as a guitar player, and saved it for the D7 to G minor. So in other words, 2, 3. So you don't have to play the whole message there is you don't have to play every single one of them. From Indonesia. So this is a good question too from Sam. When soloing on a tune, do you think about rhythm? Do the melody influence you? I don't think really. I know this is so cliche, but it's true. That I'm not thinking about anything honestly. You're just letting all those years of practice just guide you. But as far as the melody, that's always kind of there. You know what I mean? In other words, when you start playing the solo, it's not like all of a sudden I forget the melody. All jokes aside, I have done that. But so yeah, it's influencing things for sure. Maybe in sometimes a subtle way, and sometimes in not so subtle ways. I think I found myself doing a couple of quotes. I think I got I didn't do this intentionally either. You just find yourself in the middle of these things. I think I was playing like Now's the Time, but off a different pitch level. So it was like E flat 7 I was doing. I forgot now, but I know that was not like how it would be like on the tune that Charlie Parker wrote. I know that I got Mr. PC in there, all totally unintentional. You just kind of go with the flow of things. I know it's easier said than done, but that's, let's see. I'm looking at all these requests, and I definitely would like to play all these. They're all fun tunes for me. Moment's Notice, Just Friends. There's another big question that's hard to answer with just a simple comment. But I mean, a lot of outside playing is just based on intervallic stuff, meaning that, the most common one, of course, is the half-step interval, where people would play a half step away, and sometimes it's referred to as side slipping. But there are more subtle ways of doing that, where like an interval that's very powerful is the minor third. So similar example, like I was playing D minor, that I would superimpose the sound of F over it. It's hard to hear because you're not hearing the accompaniment, because it purely sounds like I'm just switching these key centers. But intervallic playing is a big part of it, and also just sometimes the it's bigger than one interval, like a minor third. Like giant steps is the perfect example, or countdown, where it's actually two movements, where you're superimposing going up a minor third and then a fourth. In other words, even using the same example. So like here I have this F major triad that's looking me right in the face right here in D minor. But I can peel out of that. And when you hear stuff like that over a static minor chord in this instance for it, it sounds killing. But again, that's using two interval steps to play outside the harmony. And the biggest thing about all that, your question, which is a great one, is getting in and out of it in a way that's musical. It can't just sound like this. All of a sudden you've inserted this whole new thing. It'll just sound like you're making mistakes. But if you do it in a way that is subtle, it can have an incredible impact on the listener. And this is just a very, I mean, it's a serious question. It's just, but the answer is so simple. I just practiced really slowly and methodically. And quite honestly, I'm 64 right now. I've been playing for 54 years. I was thinking about this the other day, especially, in this moment of retirement, when you start reflecting on your life, And I was thinking it's probably not unrealistic for me to say that I missed, out of all those years of playing, maybe 100 days. I made it a priority, just like a lot of things that we do as part of our daily, routine. Even if I was busy, I would still pick up the guitar, even if it was for a half an hour, just to play some scales, and just to reinforce these good fundamental skills. So my chops are good, but they're not compared to a lot of guitar players today. They're I can hang with people, but I've got my limitations too, and I continue to work on them. But the answer is that it's just really, really fundamental good practicing habits. And not to take it one step further, but that was very important part of learning to play the guitar for me. And a lot of you guys know that one of my best friends growing up was Vic Juris. And even though later on in his life he didn't really demonstrate it, but back in his early years, like in his 20s, he was ferocious on the guitar. Chops, like I couldn't believe it. And that really had a huge impact on me, to have such a presence and such control over the instrument. There are recordings of him and Borelli Lagreen just like tearing up the fretboards. It's just incredible. So that had a big impact. What I was going to say is that I would marry that with working on musical stuff too, like playing with recordings, transcribing solos, that kind of stuff. So I always thought of it in two big global things: the craft part of learning the guitar, and then the artistic side, which, by the way, the artistic side is light years harder to get together. Let's see. This is another really great question. I'm okay at it. I'm just being super humble with you guys here. This is not something I spent a lot of time with. I do remember playing scales, just like I'm just talked about a moment ago with octaves. But for me, is once you have that shape like locked in, the 1 and 3 on the 2 lower and 1 and 4 on the 2 upper. What helps me is seeing the top note. So if I was playing, I'm using at that point my pinky on the top ones and my third finger to see. Sorry. That's better. Screwed up again. Let me get it right. And honestly, what I'm doing there right now, that's typical practice for me. If I'm making a mistake, I'll sit with it and work it out until I can play it like 5 or 10 times in a row without messing it up. And this just builds up, back to your same question, this builds up not a skill set, but this habitual thing that you just do rather than skating over mistakes and not worrying about them or hoping they just get better. Just, tackle it. right away. This is another really great question, and I will play more tunes, I promise. This is a big question that I get a lot, and probably any musician gets a lot, especially after they've been playing for such a long time. It's not remembering tunes any longer. The tune we just did is a perfect example. Like I was looking for the lead sheet because I wanted to play the melody right, but I had fragments of it in my ear, enough for me to just hear my way through it. It becomes more that like it becomes more that if you can hear a melody in your head, whether it's a song that you've played on your guitar or you never have, if it's a singable melody, most musicians at my stage in life would just say to you, then you should be able to play it. Simple as that. So, when people walk up on a bandstand and say things like, "Oh, don't worry, you'll hear it," there's truth to that. That's not some sort of challenge. That's just like just a conversation between musicians. Don't worry, Barry, you'll hear it. Meaning that the chord progression is going to be something you've heard so many times before, and it does become that. It's like, can you hear a major 2/5? Can you hear a minor 2/5? Can you hear where they are based on where you are on a tune? In other words, the minor 2/5 to the 6 chord, minor 2/5 to the 3 chord, 2/5 1 to the 4 chord. Those kind of things that are in every single tune, you just start recognizing. Just like, I do this all the time. But this is a black shirt. I'm never going to mess that up. You want to get to that point in your musicianship where you hear sounds and you can identify them. And you can say to yourself, I recognize that. You just have to give it a name. And something that helped me out a lot too was just thinking of them in terms of a tune. Like this came up recently where there's in the tune Groovin' High, the chord progression is very unusual. To come from the D7 to the E flat, it's a very unusual movement for a 2/5. And there was another tune that did it, but when I heard it, I thought to myself, oh, that's what happens in Groovin' High. So if you make those relationships to tunes sometimes, it'll help you identify chord progressions. Now, there are people with perfect pitch where what we're talking about, that's not even a thing. It's just immediate, as long as you can hear the sound in your head. But for people like myself who have relative pitch, it's exactly that. I need to relate it to something that I already know. But in a nutshell, most people that have been doing this for as long as I have will just say that, yeah, any tune that I can sing the melody to, I'll be able to play. It's not remembering things any longer. And that goes obviously hand in hand with the improvising, Wes being the most incredible example of that, to almost rewrite melodies during these solos. They were just absolutely beautiful because you can feel they're coming from one spot, and that's his heart. It's not trying to play the Wes Montgomery tritone substitution. That's just part of his thing. But even in a tune like we just played, so da da dee da 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 da. It's just being able to do that, and all that stuff just comes with time. Benson, of course, George Benson, the king of that. All right, so there's a lot of good requests in here, but I do want to. Barry, what do you do to keep yourself physically and mentally in shape? Yeah, it's true. Honestly, it's the same thing we're just talking about, where I have these routines that I pretty much do every day, where I think this is a little personal, I guess, but I try to walk at least 4 to 5 miles every single day, and I'm listening to podcasts on learning to speak French at the same time I'm doing that. So I don't know if it really does help your mind stay sharp, but I enjoy doing it, and so that's a big part of it. I practice scales every single day still, or I should just say I practice every day when I get up in the morning. So it just becomes routine like that. I had too many shoulder injuries from being in the gym. I was never like a, workout like muscle guy, but I always like to try to keep in shape. But man, at 64, I can no longer do like straight up push-ups without pain anymore. So I just converted that to the kind that you kind of like a desk like this where I would lean against, no longer like just being parallel to the floor any longer. So, it's always been an important part of my life is balance, healthy habits, but some bad ones too, though. I enjoy the red wine very much, and nobody's going to talk me, no matter what doctors say to me. I'm not going to deny myself the pleasure of good wine and food. But yeah, my way of balancing it is with exercise and healthy habits, particularly like during the daylight hours. If we were having this conversation at 9 o'clock tonight, it would go differently. But thanks for that question. All right, I'm going to get to all these questions. Let's play one more tune because we're doing a lot of talking. So I remember there was Just Friends, and there was another one. Beatrice was another one. All right, I already kind of spaced. I'm trying to go through these comments right now. Let's see if I can find them. Oh yeah, Moment's Notice. Okay. All right, either one of those would be good. Let's just do Just Friends. The only thing I'm not I don't like this key that they do it in on the they do it in the key of G major. But this is a nice relaxed tempo. Just waited for that to download. All right, so this is Just Friends. All right, that's just friends. I'm also realizing it's like 1:14, so I've been here for an hour and 15 minutes. I'm starting to feel it. Not my fingers, like I'm tired, just my, a little fatigued mentally. Like I'm not coming up with the kind of ideas I'd like to. In other words, it'd be break time at the gig for sure. So I'm going to say goodbye at this point. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm enjoying this. I'll continue to do these monthly. It's one. I know people make promises, but I'll try to stick to it. Especially now that I have an abundance of free time. So again, thank you for everybody being here from all over the world. Super exciting and super touching at the same time. All right, so I will see you guys all. I'm trying to find the off button at another time. Take care and thanks for being here. Talk to you soon.